Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. Back in the old days, this was a podcast where we watched a Muppet movie 2 minutes at a time and talked about it a lot. As in the old days, I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your other host, Alfie the Christmas Tree, who just didn't want to change the podcast. It's me, Ryan Rowe.
Ryan Rowe is back. All right. And today we are, as I said, not talking about 2 minutes of anything. We're talking about 49 minutes of John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. And we are joined by... I'm sorry.
Oh, I see.
I'm still thinking about Ryan being Alfie. All right. We are talking about all 49 delightful minutes of John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. And we are joined by the number one Fifi the doll enthusiast. Who are you?
Oh, I'm going to be sad if that's actually true. Hi, I'm Beth Cook, also from Tough Pigs.
Oh, what a thrill. Beth, thank you so much for joining us for this one.
Thank you so much for having me.
So astute listeners might notice that we are way out of chronological order. Generally on this podcast, we started with the Muppet movie and have worked forward in time from there to 1994, which is where we left last time when we did Muppet Classic Theater. So now we're jumping back to 1979. And why are we doing that, Ryan?
I mean, because we haven't covered this on the podcast before, and we covered the other John Denver special, and because it's Christmas time.
Right, exactly. So after the Muppet movie, we covered Muppets Go Hollywood as a special because it tied into the Muppet movie. And then we moved right into the Great Muppet Caper, skipping this one entirely. But after Caper, we covered Muppets Go Hollywood, or we've covered Muppets Go to the Movies, Fantastic Miss Piggy Show, and John Denver and the Muppets A Rocky Mountain Holiday.
Right.
Before we did Manhattan. So now it's like, this is the only special with this group of characters.
Oh, the only one you haven't done yet.
The Muppet Show family of characters that we skipped. So we're between seasons. It's December. It just felt like we should go back now and pick it up.
And for people still wondering when we're ever going to talk about Follow That Bird and Labyrinth, the answer is maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Well, we've bandied around some ideas for those movies. Yes. But we did the Dark Crystal, right, which was maybe a mistake because it doesn't really fit the theme of our podcast. But this one does, because it's all about the Muppet Show family.
Yeah. So
before we really get into discussing the special itself, let's talk about what our history is with the special. So Beth, you go first.
The first time I saw this special was almost exactly 3 years ago. I had decided that I wanted to expand my my personal canon of what Muppet stuff I watch every Christmas. And so since then, I've been watching at least one Henson Muppet Christmas thing that's new to me. And
love it.
Yeah, it's I don't know if you want to cut this, but I was taking these notes 3 years ago saying that, I don't know if I'm going to get kicked out of the Tough Pigs forums. I just went on a 2-page pro fan fiction rant in the forums. And then I watched that special. And now here it is 3 years later. And I'm talking about that special for Tough Pigs.
Yeah, because you're part of the gang.
Story.
It's such a surreal, wonderful journey. I'm so glad to be here.
Well, and if we had covered this 5 years ago after the Muppet movie, we couldn't have had you on because we didn't really know you.
That's true.
Really.
Yeah.
I mean, you were posting on the forum, but we hadn't spoken.
Yeah.
You know?
But so, yeah, I only saw it for the first time 3 years ago. And since then, it's entered the regular rotation because it's just, for me, just the right level of delightful and bizarre.
Sure. So then the question is, did you know the album before that?
I don't think I did. What happened was I created a, Christmas Pandora station, and it would occasionally throw in tracks from this. But I didn't grow up with it.
Okay. Interesting. All right, Ryan, what's your history with the special and the album? I suppose we really should talk about both of them.
Right.
At least for this part, because the album is probably the more prominent piece of Muppet.
And they're
lore,
pretty different.
Yes.
They are.
There are a lot of
it's true.
differences.
Yeah.
I think most people, especially people who aren't like big Muppet nerds like us, most people discover the album first because it's just been more accessible over the years. It's been re-released multiple times on CDs and digital and streaming now, I guess. But the TV special, I don't think this ever got a home video release. Is that right?
Nope. Correct.
Yeah. So
Never.
and
not in the US at
yeah,
least.
but I actually did discover the TV special first because I believe they would air it on the Disney Channel back in the days when the Disney Channel was kind of like stuff for all ages, stuff for the whole family to watch together kind of programming, and they would show a lot of old movies and old TV specials and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think I taped it. I usually tried to tape anything and everything Muppet that I could find on TV. But I do remember watching this on the Disney Channel and just kind of, like we all do, just this is a Muppet thing, therefore it's good, right? And when I've revisited it, I usually find more to like about it than not. It's only been in the last few years that I've become aware of the portion of the fandom that just is like, oh, the John Denver special, that's bad, which kind of surprised me.
That's interesting because right here on Tough Pigs, Danny Horn and Kynan Barker covered it like 20 years ago. And their review is overwhelmingly negative. It's in one of the My Week.
Yeah, but most of their reviews of everything were overwhelmingly negative because that was the
right. Their review of Muppet Christmas Carol is overwhelmingly negative.
That was the extra snarky early period of Tough Pigs. Muppet fans with bad attitudes.
Right.
That was their mandate, was to make as many negative jokes as possible.
Sure. So I guess I'm the only one who discovered the album first because I bought it at Elko in about 1998. And I didn't see this special until maybe 2010, 2011.
Okay.
For the first time. Do you guys know Elko? Or is that a regional thing? That's like it's like small towns will have an Elko instead of a Target or a Walmart. Like it's like it's like an off-brand discount store.
That's funny because I think of small towns as having Walmart.
Well, they maybe do, but
even smaller towns,
even smaller towns have an Elko or a Pomida.
Okay,
in the Midwest at least. I know I'm talking to two non-Midwest.
Oh no! So but I spent the first 10 years of my life in small town Iowa.
Oh, you did?
I did, but I have no memory of any businesses other than the dance studio that I grew up dancing at. Nice. I was just too young to pay attention to that stuff.
Nice. But the Elko in Mayville, North Dakota, for whatever reason, I think there was a CD re-release of this special in like 97 or 98. And
I think that's right. So, I think that might be when I got my copy of it.
Sure. And so they had it out with the Christmas albums. I mean, it was right there next to, Faith Hill and Mariah Carey or whatever. And so I snatched it up. I was so excited. And then that became a thing where I could say every word of that album. I don't know if I can sing them on pitch, but I can say the words out loud. And this special was like a thing that I knew existed because of being online. But it was, I don't know. I definitely saw Rocky Mountain Holiday first and didn't like it. And as we discussed on that episode.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't see Rocky Mountain Holiday until much later.
Because that DVD was already out by then. That DVD came out in 2004 or something,
Yeah, that might have been when I first saw it.
So then I saw this one. I got it. Did you send me this DVD, Ryan? Somebody sent me a burned DVD of this in like around 2010. Because it says...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not sure. I wish I knew who the handwriting. If they're listening, let me know because it's in like very nice handwriting. It says John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together, Merry Christmas, Anthony on the disc.
Aw.
I don't know that I would have gone to the trouble of writing Merry Christmas, Anthony on the disc.
Right. Probably not.
I did hope you had a Merry Christmas that year, of course.
I'm sure I did.
So if yours is a burned copy, what quality is it? Because the version that I watched on one of the internet's many tubes was it sounded like I was listening to static underwater.
Yeah, most of what's out there is pretty muddy.
Right. There's never, I mean, it's like a fifth, sixth generation copy recorded off TV, right? Like, and I have seen more recently some better quality ones, but I don't know where to get them. You know, like I know that they're out there. I've seen clips and stuff. But yeah, so it's never been released in apparently anywhere. I just checked in home video in any format, which is another reason why the album is more prominent. You can buy it, you can stream it.
That makes more sense.
Right. So let's get into the special itself, and we'll kind of compare it to the album as we go along the way. The opening of both of them is exactly the same. It's the 12 Days of Christmas, but it's also not exactly the same because the lineup of characters is not the same in the two versions. Mm-hmm. Like they are both John and the Muppets singing the 12 Days of Christmas with the traditional lyrics. These aren't like funny Muppet joke lyrics. There are funny Muppet jokes in it, but the lyrics are not changed. So do we want to go through who does what on each version? Is that worth doing?
I think you can run that down, yeah.
Okay. So A Partridge in a Pear Tree is John Denver on both versions.
You mean a partridge and a pear tree?
A partridge.
He does that like vocal lesson, remembers. Partridge.
He does, that's true.
Yeah.
Two Turtle Doves is Kermit on the album, but it's Fozzie here on TV. And who gets to like mess up. He misses his cue a bunch of times, which is one of the jokes. That's not on the album at all.
Yep.
You know? And then Three French Hens is Gonzo both times. Four Calling Birds is Robin both times.
Well, okay, so Gonzo, Three French Hens, Gonzo's the guy who likes chickens.
He's a chicken boy.
Yeah.
He's a well-known chicken boy.
Right.
And then Four Calling Birds is Robin, who's named after a bird.
Oh, of course.
So I think that's why.
Huh.
And then Five Gold Rings is Miss Piggy, who gets the other big joke, which is the ba-dum bum bum thing.
Yes, and I'm sure we all do this when we sing along with 12 Days of Christmas at the holidays, right?
Of course.
I do, yeah.
The trick is, though, she doesn't start doing it until 10.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like the rule of threes in comedy. It's the first time she sets it up. The second time she does it even more dramatically and everybody kind of stares at her. The third time, everybody else turns and does
everybody does it with her.
And there's even a slight difference in that on the album version. On the album, she starts it at 9.
Oh.
And by 11, she does it like more like enthusiastic, brassy, like ba-dum bum bum. But she, you don't get the visual effect of.
Right, because Piggy's into it. She's like very animated here. It's great.
Yeah. I think it's not surprising that, as is often the case, Frank Oz is the MVP of this special.
Yeah.
And specifically as Piggy, because Piggy is all over this and she's just great.
Right. The other Muppets don't get, and the other Frank Oz characters don't really get a ton to do here.
Yeah.
But Piggy sure does. And the others get some moments, as like I said, Fozzie kind of gets the other running gag here. Mm-hmm. And then Six Geese A-Laying is, so wait.
Six Geese A-Laying is Scooter.
Yes, Six Geese A-Laying is Scooter, but Fozzie is Seven Swans Is Swimming on TV, not on the album, right?
That's how I remember.
On the album.
I wrote it down wrong, yes. On the album, Fozzie is Two Turtle Doves and Kermit is that on TV. Yes, that's what I meant to say. Because Seven Swans Is Swimming then is Fozzie on TV, but it's New Zealand on the album.
Yep.
Who's not in the song on TV at all.
Right.
And then that's the cue that Fozzie keeps missing. And Rolf is Eight Maids of Milking both times.
Which cuts to him in a separate shot. He exists in his own little sphere of existence playing the piano. Every time
sitting at the piano,
goes to him. Yeah.
Nine Ladies Dancing is Bunsen and Beaker on the album. Because you hear me, right? Sure. But on TV, it's Janice. Janice pops in wearing a
nice.
very, very jaunty hat.
We love Muppets in winter wear.
And we should say that during this song. They all have like holly berries in their hats and scarves and stuff. It's great. 10 Lords of Leaping is Statler and Waldorf both times. Sure. 11 Pipers Piping is Beauregard on the album, but Beau gets left out here because it's Floyd.
Yeah, Beau's not even in this, is he?
Nope.
I don't think Beau's in it at all, yeah. And then finally, 12 Drummers Drumming is on the album Kermit. That's Kermit's makes the final entrance. But on TV, it's Animal going, twa, dwa, dwa.
Yeah.
Which I think is really funny.
It's surprising that it wasn't Animal on the album, because they seem to have put some thought into some of these. So who do we get to do the line about drummers? Let's think. Oh, Kermit. That's the most natural.
That famous drummer, Kermit the Frog.
Right.
I mean, I get that you have to use Kermit for either the beginning of the song or the end of the song.
Yeah, I guess
You can't have him come in on 8.
Right. Yeah.
So if you've already used that spot for 2 turtle doves with Fozzie, which also doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no, I like the special version better than the album.
It's better.
I think so.
Well, it's better because of the added jokes and because of the placement of characters. And we should probably also mention that Jimmy Fallon recreated this with the Muppets on his show in the early 2010s on the when he was on Late Night, not the Tonight Show. Yeah.
And it was pretty similar.
Yeah, it was just basically the same bit, but it was one of those things where it's like, hey, remember this? That's comedy, you know? But
and I guess he kind of falls into the demographic where he probably saw this on TV as a kid.
Yeah, he would have been like around 8 or 9 when this aired, probably.
Yeah, that
right? Is that about right?
Sure,
something like that. Now I'm questioning how old Jimmy Fallon is.
Maybe a little younger than that.
He might be younger than that. Yeah, let's see. He was born in 1974, so he was 5 when this aired.
Okay,
yeah. And then, so after that, we cut to the opening. Well, any other thoughts about 12 Days of Christmas before we move?
Not as it relates to this special.
I just like...
Sure.
In one of the shots of Ralph, he does a glissando playing down the keys of the piano. And then when he gets to the end, he kind of falls off his piano bench and out of the shot. That's funny.
Yeah, that's good. Then we get to the opening credits where we see a sticker being put on some sort of a trunk. It says John Denver and the Muppets of Christmas Together, which it's weird. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says with John's special guest stars.
Well, it's starring John Denver. So that's telling you right up front, like, manage your expectations, Muppet fans.
Yeah, because it really is a John Denver special.
Yeah.
I mean, at heart, like he gets to do a couple of songs without them. And it says John's special guest stars. And then it lists precisely 7 Muppets. Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, Floyd, which I think is interesting, that Floyd gets billing in the opening credits.
Yeah.
Scooter, and Rolf. Now, all of those characters do, in fact, appear in this special. But we saw others besides them in the opening number.
Right.
You know, like we already know there's going to be more Muppets. I don't know how they landed on that group.
No, I don't really understand it. And, you know, I'm the kind of movie and TV nerd who thinks about billing order. So I'm also thinking like, okay, it makes sense. Kermit, Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo as the first 4 in that order.
Yeah.
And then Floyd and then Scooter and then Ralph. It's like, okay, but I guess like Scooter and Ralph actually are a little bit more featured, but it does say and Ralph, which tends to be like the sort of prestigious credit. So, you know, he's a veteran of TV from the Jimmy Dean show and everything. So maybe that's why he gets that special credit.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and I feel like Floyd and Scooter are getting Jerry Nelson and Richard Hunt in the opening credits. You know?
Like,
I don't know that that's why, but it's like of the 7 characters, all 5 of the main performers are represented.
Right.
2 Frank Oz characters, 2 Jim Henson characters, 1 Dave, 1 Jerry, 1 Richard.
Okay.
You know?
So if you credited Janice and Beaker, then that would be lopsided. Like then Jerry only has 1. Yeah. Okay.
Right. I'm not sure. But speaking of Jerry though, then next we go into like a writing room. It's like they're sitting at a conference table. We see all the Muppets sitting in a conference room. That's how the special proper starts. But we see like Swedish Chef, Lou Zealand, like many other characters who are not listed in that opening are like sitting at the table now, you know?
Yeah.
And so many paper airplanes flying in from off screen. Who is throwing these paper airplanes?
I don't know. Crazy Harry? He's not in there.
Sure,
let's say Crazy Harry.
Yeah.
Crazy Harry plays with aerodynamics, right? So Kermit is running through a read-through of the script, which I really like. I don't know that we've ever seen the Muppets doing a read-through of a script before. Before this.
I guess not. I mean, they read the screenplay in the Muppet movie, and we see them kind of in a TV studio in the Fantastic Miss Piggy show, but no, not like this.
Right, and we don't really get to see it here, but like they're about to, and that's a fun idea.
Yeah,
I think. But then John Denver walks in and asks how the script is coming, can't understand the Swedish Chef, you know, and then Floyd, they all start kind of complaining. Floyd complains that the band doesn't have a number.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for the two of you. Mm-hmm. If the band did have a number in this special, what do you imagine it would be?
Gee, could it be Little Saint Nick?
Oh, that's a great idea.
That is such an obvious answer. inexplicable why it's not here.
Well, that's the and that I feel like that's the biggest specific complaint people make about this special, right?
Oh.
Is that there's like all this like John Denver heavy stuff, but the Electric Mayhem doesn't get to do Little Saint Nick, which they do on the album, of course. It's a Christmas classic. And I don't know if it was a rights issue or what, or they just didn't have like a visual idea for it or what. But it's not here, and it's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what could it be? Just have the band do the song and John Denver dressed as Santa driving a sports car or something.
Sure. I mean, driving a little bobsled, right? Isn't that what the line is? A little bobsled, they call it Old Saint Nick. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that it's a bobsled.
Yeah, it's a great song. I don't exactly know what it's about, but...
Yeah, it's about how Santa's sleigh is also named the Little Saint Nick. That's what it's about.
I guess I never bothered to look up the lyrics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a weird song, but I like it. You and I have discussed before, I'm sure, Ryan. I like the Mayhem version way more than the original Beach Boys version.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And I like the Beach Boys, but that's not a favorite of mine.
I think you said that on the Tough Pigs Discord recently, and I thought my instinct was to be like, "What? No, come on, it's the Beach Boys." But I think I might have to agree with you.
Just the way that Jerry Nelson, Richard Hunt, and Jim Henson just like rip into those lyrics.
Yeah,
like they all sound like they're having such a good time.
Yeah,
whereas the Beach Boys kind of sound like they are contractually obligated to make it.
Yeah, I think the Mayhem rocks a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. I really do. Like I would much rather listen to either the Mayhem's Little Saint Nick or like Here Today. You know, like some other Beach Boys song.
Sure.
You know, like
put that on the Christmas album.
Yeah, put Here Today on the Christmas album. So then what happens? As so often happens in these specials, John notices that Miss Piggy is missing. Where's Miss Piggy? She has to make an entrance all the time. And we previously discussed that Piggy's entrances kind of got bigger and bigger as these specials went on. You know, like where she's like entering on a grand staircase or being like carried in by shirtless men or whatever, you know, in the later ones. But so it's nice. It's like interesting to go back and see here where it's just like she runs in and slams the door.
She's being chased by autograph hounds.
Exactly.
Autograph hounds. And we hear them barking, which I think is a good joke. I think that's very funny. This whole scene, I think, is generally very charming, but there's not really a lot of actual jokes in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of one or two jokes that are repeated, but yeah, I know, I like it.
And the main one then is that John says the number they're going to do is about peace on earth, goodwill towards men. And Piggy, of course, says, and women. And John's like, well, yeah, that's included. They talk about this for a while.
Piggy offers biblical evidence that this is quite a moment. She says the Bible is filled with women. It's full of this one begat that one. And she's making a good point.
Right. But then she what I love is that she kind of like winks at what begatting means.
Right.
Because she says there's a great deal of goodwill towards women.
Yeah.
Miss Piggy's filthy. All right. And then everyone's just kind of talking about other, you know, Gonzo's like, oh, what about goodwill towards chickens? Gonzo's like into it.
Yep.
You know?
And then we get...
And all this stuff.
Certainly many people's favorite line in the special. Floyd saying, peace on earth, goodwill toward men and women and chickens and bears, and Dizzy Gillespie.
And Dizzy Gillespie, which is so fun, who is, of course, a man. Like,
true.
I don't know. I don't know why Floyd chose him to single out, but it is nice. It's nice for him. And we should say future Muppet Show guest star, Dizzy Gillespie at this point.
Yeah.
I guess he hadn't even taped it probably at this point.
Looking at his Muppet Wiki page, I was like, wow, this guy is a real friend of the Muppets. Like, he's got more than the trifecta.
Yeah, he was on Sesame Street a bunch of times, right?
Mm-hmm. Ghost of Fafner Hall, of all things.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Wow. That must have been not too long before he died, right? Like, didn't he die in like the early 90s? 1993, yeah. So, so he...
A few years.
Fafner Hall's 89, yeah. Huh. Guess I'll have to watch that one on Roku channel.
Yes.
Fire up Ghost of Fafner Hall.
Do it.
A bad show that I wish was enjoyable.
Ugh.
Like, I want it to be good so much, and it's not.
Yeah. Would love to talk about that more in depth someday.
Sure. But so anyways, John starts singing a song then, and we transition. The song is The Pleasure of Your Company, which is from the 1974 musical The Good Companions.
I have never heard of that until
I've never heard of it either.
Until I looked it up on Muppet Wiki for this. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a British musical, and you can tell it's a British musical because it's called The Good Companions.
Sure.
Like, that would not be the name of an American show, I don't think.
Well, it depends what year.
I suppose so. Yeah, if it was 1932 or something.
Right. No, 74. Oh, yeah, no way.
74. What would the American show be called? Like Best Pals?
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. But as John's singing, we transition from the conference room to John's like standing in a white space that looks like the Matrix. And then it fills up with a town square set, one building at a time.
Yeah.
And then for the whole song, John kind of like wanders around singing the song, interacts with a few Muppets. Fozzie's a bell ringer. The Swedish chef is cooking something. Mayhem is in marching band uniforms. A lot of human dancers are goofing around. We see some tween ballerinas. And there's a horse-drawn carriage eventually, like on the set, an actual horse pulling a carriage, not a Muppet horse.
Yeah.
So what do we think about this?
I mean, if I had to pick one musical number to kick out of this, it would be this one. I'll have plenty to say later about the whole toy soldier thing, but that one at least is bafflingly amusing. This one is just baffling.
Sure.
I think a lot of the this word is overused, but tropes of variety shows at the time are kind of lost to history at this point. So we watched something like this from the late 70s kind of in isolation, but at the time people had probably seen a lot of variety shows with a lot of musical numbers like this. So it would probably have seemed less strange or less drawn out or whatever it is. Like they're just, they're filling time until the next commercial break. So what else can we do? Let's have some ballerinas come out. But yeah, it could stand to be shorter, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I do like how the Muppets just pop up all over this little town square.
Yeah, they are everywhere.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I think so much of this special, and the problem with doing a podcast about it is this special is best as like background noise. Like if you're decorating your house or playing a game with your family or something, like it's pleasant to have this on, and you look up, Muppets are on the screen, weird things are happening, the music is pleasant.
That's exactly when I watch it, is when I'm making Christmas cookies.
Yeah, exactly.
That works.
But when you like sit here and try to scrutinize it, it's just like, what is this? Why is
this?
any of this happening? Yeah, exactly.
It just is. It's just setting the scene. It's Christmas time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, but I like when the Swedish chef flips his meatballs out of his skillet, and then he starts playing the skillet like a guitar.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah,
I like that.
And almost certainly ad-libbed.
Oh, I'm sure. I think most Swedish chef hand motions were ad-libbed, right? Like,
exactly.
To some degree. Obviously, the sketches had premises.
Yeah.
But so then we transition into Piggy's dressing room, where she is on the phone talking to her agent Bernie about how she doesn't like the elf sketch that they're going to do.
Good old Bernie.
Yeah, good old Bernie. And then, do we think that Bernie is canonically Dom DeLuise? Because in the Muppet movie, her agent is Marty.
Marty,
and then whenever it's Bernie, I like to think she ended up with
So she
Dom.
fired Marty and hired Dom DeLuise's character?
That's what I've always thought.
I mean, he did give Kermit good advice to go to Hollywood. So, yeah.
That's true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, what I wouldn't give for the other end of that conversation with Dom DeLuise.
With Dom DeLuise? Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been good. Yeah, who's obviously did the Muppet Show, but never really worked with the Muppets again after those two, right? It's just the Muppet Show and the Muppet movie.
Missed opportunity for a very brief cameo.
Yeah, would have been great. With John's special guest stars, Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo, Ralph, Scooter, Floyd, and
Dom DeLuise as Bernie.
Yeah. So anyways, John comes in, she kind of flirts with him. He's confused about it, which I like.
Well, so there's one moment that I'm a little bit confused about this phone call with Piggy's agent, she says, she wants a bigger part. Right now, all she has is 20 words. Do you know what 10% of 20 words are? 2. And here they are. You're fired. I'm like, wait a minute.
That is a good joke.
It is a great joke, and I love it. But is he fired, or is he getting her a bigger part?
Yeah, I guess it's a threat. Like if
I think
he
it's like
doesn't
you're
get
fired
her a
if
bigger
this
part,
is all I get is
then
20
he'll be
words.
fired.
Your
Okay.
10% will be that you're fired.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. But so anyways, she does convince John using her feminine wiles. And mostly, by which I mean mostly, like eventually she annoys him into it. Convinces him to cancel the crummy elf number, and then it's going to be something else, but we don't know what yet.
He's going to work on it.
He's going to work on it.
Yeah. The scenes with Piggy flirting with John Denver are my favorites because not because of, Piggy foisting herself on someone who doesn't want to be with her, which can make you feel kind of squicky, but because you can see John Denver barely containing his laughter. Like he's just so delighted to be here, no matter what is happening around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. You can tell that he loves working with the Muppets. Like,
yes.
I mean, obviously he's one of the legendary friends of the Muppets. He did these 2 specials and albums, and he's on them. Had just been on the Muppet Show. They mention it briefly in the special, right? Piggy mentions it, right?
She does, yeah. Like a rare moment of continuity.
Yeah. But so then now, while John is thinking about what that number is going to be, he goes to his beloved outdoors.
Oh, but so on the note of John Denver having such a great time, the moment when she asks him to take off his glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really funny.
And he just, is there squinting at her, and she does this long, slow take. You can tell he's about to, he probably does laugh. He's about to just crack up, but that's so funny. And they're both so good at playing that moment.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and as a glasses wearer who works at an elementary school, anytime I take my glasses off, kids are like, put your glasses back on. Like,
you look wrong.
Just because it like changes your face. Yeah. Like it's you look wrong. Exactly.
See, I think some people look more different than others with their glasses off. And I don't think you look as different as John Denver, but
let's see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not as different as John Denver does.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't have those beady little eyes like John Denver.
The funny thing is, like, of all of the things, because she's going on about, flirting with him, and when the joke is that when he takes the glasses off, she does this slow pan to the camera and says, put them back on, as if, oh no, now he's worse looking. But of all of the 1970s throwing up on this poor man, the glasses are not the biggest problem.
Sure.
No. She should have said, John, get a haircut.
Yeah. That hair was his trademark, though.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, he had hair like that until he died, right? No, not quite. I guess it was a little different in the 90s, but
yeah,
pretty close.
She also calls him Jonathan, and I always like when Piggy calls guest stars by their full first names.
Now, okay, clarifying question. Cut this out if it's wrong. I thought Jonathan and John were 2 different names with 2 different origins.
They might be, but I like my best friend from high school, for example, is named Jonathan and has gone by John his whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Yeah. I don't know if John Denver's name is Jonathan, is it?
Well,
Henry John Duschendorf. Yeah. Of course.
Rizzo taught us that it's Henry John Duschendorf. So
he's being entertaining and educational or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So anyways, then we find John out in his beloved outdoors. He's a well-known conservationist, environmental enthusiast. And so he's out in his beloved outdoors where he finds some Muppet woodland creatures.
Then
he looks, what? Go ahead, Beth.
Oh, just that's one of my favorite things is when, the Muppets are doing their ridiculous things and then you get to see something charming and more realistic and, like, oh, it doesn't have to be all slapstick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at least one of these is an Emmett Otter character not wearing clothing.
That's very likely.
That would make sense, yeah.
Maybe is it Harvey Muskrat? Which one is a muskrat?
Harvey Muskrat and Charlie Beaver, I think.
Yeah, right? I think maybe it's Harvey Muskrat just not wearing a costume, but looking more like a real animal.
Well, good for him getting a gig.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, well, here's the thing about Harvey Muskrat. He plays regular if the pay's regular. So anyways, John looks right into the camera and tells us the story of Alfie, the Christmas tree who didn't want to change the show. And then, and it's all kind of one thing. Well, go ahead. You had something to say, Beth?
Oh, no.
Alfie,
sum it up first, and then I'll have opinions.
I was just going to say that it's this and then the song, It's in Every One of Us, which are, as far as I can tell, the same recording from the album. Like,
yeah,
I'm not sure if that's true, but it sounds like the cadence is exactly the same every word.
I bet you're right.
Yeah.
You know? So anyways, what are your thoughts about old Alfie, man?
Yeah.
So when I was, when I watched it the first time, I was like, uh-oh, here's a schmaltzy Christmas poem coming on. This is going to be bad. But then I was like, oh, no, this actually, like, the whole message is about, like, hey, you don't have to be Christian in order to be kind, and you don't have a monopoly on the spirit of Christmas. And so I was like, okay, I'm on board with that message.
Is that what the message is?
So
I've heard this so many times, and every time I'm kind of waiting to get it, to really understand it, and I still don't think
there's anything to get. There's no. Okay. It's trying to be a story, and it's failing because.
Thank you for making me feel less foolish.
There are two little journeys that the thing that is trying to be a story and fails is trying to do. So first it's trying to go from, like, okay, here's this tree who loves it in the woods. He loves all the critters and things, and he's happy here. Oh, but also he likes Christmas. He likes looking down on the town and enjoying Christmas.
Right.
That in and of itself could have been the basis for a story. And then on the flip side, you get...
Well, yeah, if you call it a story, like, there's not any action. It's more of, here's who the character is and here's his inner monologue, the end.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the second half is him going, I wonder if people who have never heard of Christmas are automatically going to hell. But a politer version of that. And he goes, they're fine.
Well, it's like,
but then he goes, the people who'd never heard the Son of God, and that made Alfie pause. Did that mean they'd never know of peace on earth or the brotherhood of man or know how to love or how to give? But then he twists it and says, if they can't, no one can.
Yeah.
So I think that they can, right? Like that's what you're saying, Beth?
Right. That
means everyone can understand love and brotherhood, even if they don't know Christmas.
That is the general message that I get from it. My biggest complaint is that opening line, the Christmas tree who didn't want to change the show. What? What show? What is he talking about?
Yeah, that sets you up to expect more of a narrative where something is happening. Like,
guys, he liked living in the woods and playing with squirrels.
But he also liked Christmas.
That. Yeah, but he wanted to be a Christmas tree in the woods. And I think that's the thing, right? He didn't want to be in somebody's house. He wanted to stay in the woods and enjoy Christmas. He wanted both, and he got it because...
But he never says that. We don't have any evidence either way to know whether Alfie wants to be in somebody's living room or not.
Yeah, he just starts talking about, okay, the woods are nice. Oh, and also Christmas in town is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if you knew this, but he often had dreams of tiny reindeer and a jolly old man in a sleigh. This tree dreams. This is a tree that has...
Okay, well, yeah, so he loves Christmas. We got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the second line? What's the next line of the poem after the Christmas tree who just didn't want to change the show?
Something living snow. In the woods and playing with squirrels.
Okay, so that
he liked bicycles and snow.
Okay, so that's why it's because he needed something
bicycles
to rhyme
and snow
with show.
No, it's not. It's icicles. But
okay,
if you look it up on Google, the lyrics say bicycles and snow, but it's actually
that's
icicles.
Great.
Somebody misheard that, or some bot misheard that.
Yeah.
So I like imagining
to the bottom of the story of Alfie. That's not actually a story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I like imagining that Alfie was in a production of The Nutcracker and didn't want to change that show.
There you go.
Right. That would be more of that would be paying that off. When you say you didn't want to change the show. What show? The Nutcracker. Let me tell you about it. Here's how it went. Also, in the previously mentioned article by our friends Danny and Kynan, I don't remember which of them commented on this, but the line when it says that gave Alfie pause, I think it was Danny, said, okay, so trees can pause?
Yeah.
I think that's most of what they do, isn't it?
Exactly. You wouldn't really be able to tell when a tree is pausing. So
it takes a very long time to say anything.
Yeah, right. There you go. I like how The Two Towers is a 3-hour movie that would be an hour and 45 minutes if Treebeard spoke at a normal length. Great movie. Love it. All right. But then John, so there's no Muppets other than the woodland creatures in this whole scene. Because John, then he sings It's in Every One of Us from the movie Big. And I don't know how you both feel about it.
I'm sorry, from the movie Big?
No, I think, I don't remember how I first discovered that's a song. I think it was a Muppet fan discovering it and pointing it out.
It's been too long since I've seen Big.
So in the movie Big, there's a scene where Tom Hanks is starting to get wistful for childhood, and he like walks around and like walks past his old school, or walks past a school, and sees like kids playing in the playground, and just kind of like looks and keeps walking. And the score is an instrumental version of It's in Every One of Us, and it's credited. It's listed in the closing credits. And it's weird because that's a song that I associate only with this album and special. Other than that,
although it wasn't written for the special or the album.
No, it's a few years old. It was written in 1975
by a singer-songwriter named Earl Pomerantz.
Yeah,
but yeah, so, it is sort of, it takes you out of it a little bit to hear this in the movie Big.
Yeah. Then, so he sings it, and I think it's lovely. I like all these John Denver solo numbers in this. Yeah,
well,
we all agree this club is formed.
They sing it again in Rocky Mountain Holiday, and then they sing it again in Muppet Family Christmas.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where I think I also pointed out the big connection on the podcast, but
I'm sure you did.
But then John is still outside, and he runs into Kermit the Frog, and Kermit spends, I feel like, a long time waxing sentimental about the swamp and how much he misses everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's kind of all he says, but it takes him like a minute to say it.
And it doesn't feel like, at least to me, it doesn't feel obnoxiously long and drawn out. Like, it feels like a real conversation between people who are pausing to think about things and figure out what they're saying as they're saying it.
Yeah,
Eventually there are a few jokes.
Yes.
And also, Kermit crosses his leg, which is a cool puppetry trick. But that also leads to a continuity error, which I had never noticed before. As John Denver is crossing over to Kermit in a wider shot, his legs are already crossed. And then in the close-up of Kermit's legs are uncrossed, and then he crosses them. So I hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
It just sounds like me being fidgety.
Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
He just uncrossed his legs in the split second between shots.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Them again. Okay.
That's what Kermit does.
Yeah.
But then Kermit and John sing The Christmas Wish, which is actually a new song. It was actually written for that album. And now it's here in the special. Kermit sings it alone on the album. It's just Kermit. And here it's a duet with Kermit and John.
So when I was listening to compare the special version and the album version, I thought, well, if it's the same song, then I'm just going to mute the video so that, which has terrible audio quality, so that I can listen to the album version. And then I got to see John Denver singing with Kermit's voice.
That's great. That's great. I should have done that. And I like this version. I'm so used to it being just Kermit, you know, and this song is very special to me because it kind of sums up like what's so great about every Muppet Christmas project, which is that the idea that like Christmas is for everyone. We're all celebrating together. You know, I mean, the song has the lyrics about like, if you believe in love, that will be more than enough for you to come and celebrate.
You don't even have to actually be a person who celebrates or believes in Christmas. You can just
come hang out at my place.
Family.
We'll have some cookies.
And that's so Muppety, I feel like. Like it's such a, and I don't know that we sit around talking about this as like one of the classic Kermit songs, but I kind of feel like we should, you know, like to me, it's right up there with Being Green and
it's definitely got the right vibe for a Muppet classic.
Yeah.
Sounds like you should write a Tough Pigs article about it.
You know, I really should write a Tough Pigs article about it.
Yep. There's still time before the 25th.
Yeah, maybe I should. You know, I was going to write something. I was going to write something about Yancey Woodchuck, and I haven't done that either. So.
Oh, that would be good. So the jokes in their little dialogue here. The one Kermit's talking about a little tadpole who used to leap around, saying everything was easy as falling off a log. And one Christmas he had a terrible accident. John Denver says, "What happened?" "He fell off a log." "The poor little fella, he just croaked." And John Denver says, "He died?" And Kermit says, "No, he just croaked. Help, help," he croaked. The first time I saw this when I was a kid, I thought that was hilarious.
Well, and Jim Henson's delivery is so enthusiastic.
And John Denver is such a good straight man to this.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, they really, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're having fun. So then they do the song, and then we fade to commercial and back to Miss Piggy's dressing room once again.
Who is in a different flowy white robe than she was in previously in her dressing room.
Is that right?
Yep.
Huh. Good for her. Good, like,
fashion
good,
icon.
Good for this special that they like had the budget to do it, you know?
She probably already had at least one of those in her costume.
I suppose so. Yeah, this is middle of the 4th season of the Muppet Show. Like, you know, they had Miss Piggy costumes to spare. Yeah, that's true. But I feel like we do need to discuss what is happening in Miss Piggy's dressing room because New Zealand and Beaker are doing her makeup.
Those are the makeup artists, yes.
How do we imagine they got this job?
That's a very good question.
I mean, from the production standpoint of this special, it's because it's funny for them to be the makeup artists.
Right. Yes, that is true.
Within the universe, I have no idea.
Well, and especially because, like, we don't see Beaker paired with other characters who aren't Bunsen.
Yeah.
Not much, no. Yeah.
And I don't think Bunsen is in this at all, is he?
Huh.
I don't think he has a speaking line.
12 Days of Christmas, yeah.
Maybe not.
He might be sitting and
he is
chatting
there.
in the group scenes.
In the living room at the end and stuff.
Wow.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't remember.
Yeah, right. But Beaker is here with his new best friend, New Zealand.
New Zealand.
So maybe they got into a fight. Maybe Beaker and Bunsen are maybe Beaker yelled, "We're done professionally" at him like Christian Bale, but in Beaker language. And then he became new best friends with New Zealand.
Yeah.
Lou's like, "Hey, I'll throw my boomerang fish at you, sure."
Yeah.
So anyways, here they are, and there's not really much more to it than that. I just think it's great. And then John comes in. John still just says he's not sure what her big number is, which feels like an unnecessary update. I guess we have new viewers, right? Like
reminding the audience.
Yeah, it's on TV. People maybe like just flipped to it, saw the Muppets and stopped. You know, like they were
Stay tuned.
They were watching Starsky and Hutch or whatever on another channel.
They flipped somewhere else during the commercials and then forgot and came back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then the next number starts happening in Miss Piggy's dressing room, and it is Christmas is Coming, a round that she sings with Lou and Beaker, but then other Muppets join in: Gonzo, Rolf, Floyd, Zoot. And this is one where I think the album clearly wins. I don't know how you two feel about it.
Why do you say that?
Because on the album, it's very clean, and it's like a well-executed song that you can listen to. And
see, I love the chaos of it here.
Sure. Interesting.
I do like the visual chaos of it. And at the end, Piggy gets she gets more into it in, not just not noticing that everyone else has stopped singing, but genuinely not caring. She gets, "Don't stop me now."
Right. Yeah, you're right. She doesn't do "Don't Stop Me Now" on the album. She does keep singing, and Gonzo has to tell her it's done.
Right. Yeah, that version is much shorter on the album, that moment. But I think the album wins because of the first time that she says the goose is getting fat. You hear Gonzo say, "Nice."
Yeah, that rules.
As someone on the internet commented, it is canonical that not only does Gonzo date birds, he likes them thick.
It's true. Yeah, there you go. That rules. It's so good. And just so on the album, it's Piggy, and then she addresses the other singers by name, which is Robin, Gonzo, Scooter. This is what we're going to sing.
Yeah, it's just those three.
It's just those three. And so it's just like a 4-part round that until Miss Piggy doesn't stop at the end is like they're just singing around. And it's just, for me, it's just fun to hear those characters. Like,
definitely.
To hear them just singing this song and doing a great job. But the special is definitely its own kind of fun also.
This just makes me laugh because there's so many Muppets who come in out of nowhere they start singing the song.
Right.
And then also Beaker suddenly has maracas out of nowhere that he's playing. And then the band members come in, and it's such a crowded shot already. But then like Janice and Floyd and Zoot just pass directly in front of the camera. And Zoot, I think, is not even singing. It just looks like he's kind of wandering into the shot, and he's not even
that's
lit.
funny.
He's not even in focus. It's just Zoot just ended up there somehow. He doesn't even know how he got there.
Did anyone else get the sense that this was a very crowded set with not a lot of room to do great puppetry in group scenes?
I think you're right. Yes.
Okay.
Well, in this scene, for sure, yeah.
Because
I think this is not a normal Muppet set, right? Like,
yeah,
right.
And there were two instances that I noted later of, these incredible, top of their game puppeteers, like their puppets accidentally like brushing each other.
Oh yeah,
like their faces.
Yeah. That happens.
It happens
at the end of this, right? When Gonzo's nose gets stuck in Piggy's hair.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one. No, I was thinking about at the very end. The last song that big group sing, Scooter's nose accidentally brushes Robin's foot, and then Statler and Waldorf accidentally brush their faces together. It's just a very crowded feel.
Yeah, sure, but I like how because Gonzo actually just plays it off. He pulls Piggy's hair off of his nose, and then you can actually see him kind of go like he's
Piggy, going to fix her hair is a long-standing joke.
Yeah,
they just roll with it. Yeah,
yeah. They make it feel natural. So next up, back on the town square set, John Denver by himself sings "A Baby Just Like You," a song that he wrote for his son Zachary, who gets mentioned by name in the song.
Yes, I think a lot of us probably think of this song as being called "Merry Christmas, Little Zachary."
Merry Christmas, Little Zachary, right? But this is one of those things where there's no Muppets in. This too sounds like the same recording as the album to me. And there's no Muppets in it, but like because I've had this Muppet album since I was in middle school, this song is like imprinted on my soul. I was at my parents' house for Thanksgiving. My dad's all-time favorite band is the Carpenters, right? And he had the Amazon Music playing the Carpenters Christmas album. And when it ended, it was like more music like this started playing, right? And "A Baby Just Like You" came on. Aww. And I started singing along, and my dad was like astounded that I knew all the words. He was just like, "Why do you know this?" And I said, "That's from John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together." And he's like, "I should have figured." As soon as I said it, he's like, "Yeah, of course."
He doesn't know you're a huge John Denver fan.
Yeah, he knows I love John Denver.
Now, according to Muppet Wiki, it says Denver wrote the song at the request of Frank Sinatra on the occasion of the birth of his first grandchild, Nancy Sinatra's daughter, Angela. When Denver recorded the song, he substituted the name of his then infant son, Zachary.
Sure, so it was "Merry Christmas, Little Angela" for Frank. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Good thing they both had 3-syllable names.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Angela feels more thematic about Christmas and angels. But
right, yeah. But you do have 5 syllables to play with.
True.
Right? Like, because you don't need little, If it was, if you're singing it about me, you could say "Merry Christmas, Anthony Frederick" if you wanted.
Not little Anthony?
Not little Anthony.
Yeah. But what if your name was Fred, then "Merry Christmas, Little Fred" would be
my dad's name is Fred, so I would say "Merry Christmas, Little Frederick Paul." That's what I'd say to my dad.
Okay, so you can make it work.
Yeah. Anyway,
little your name here.
You have like 7 middle names, Ryan, so I couldn't sing it to you.
I have 2 middle names.
You have 2 middle names. That's what I meant. But yeah, so anyways, "A Baby Just Like You." But then next, it's another like slow song in a row. It's 2 in a row here. It's "Baby Just Like You," and then "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," which he sings with Rolf at the piano, John Denver. They're singing together. I love this. I think it's.
I don't know what else you can say. Yeah.
Oh, I have a lot to say.
So good.
Beth.
Please, excellent.
Please share.
So, I re-listened to the episode of Moving Right Along where y'all talked about this in Muppet Family Christmas, and it had recently come up in my memory, specifically about the original or sad version of the song, and then the newer, happier version of the song that most people knew. Yeah, so the original is from the movie Meet Me in St. Louis, which is great. Everybody go watch it. And sung absolutely wonderfully by Judy Garland. And in that movie, it's a very sad point in the story. You know, they're moving away, everyone's sad, and so instead of from now on, our troubles will be out of sight, it's next year, all our troubles will be out of sight. But that line I can almost okay, whatever, it's close enough. The line that they changed, that changes the entire meaning of the song, in the happy version, it's hang a shining star upon the highest bough. And in the original, it's until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow.
Yeah, which is incredibly different.
Different, yeah. And so, I was looking back on this old Facebook conversation, and a friend of a friend commented, you're going to have to bleep the end of this, but it's worth it. I have very strong feelings about the versions of this song. Let's see. The whole effect is to take a beautiful, hopeful, emotionally complicated song that anyone who is sad or lonely can feel seen by and turn it into yet another song where everything is happy and perfect, and if it isn't, then you don't get to feel any connection to it. The Meet Me in St. Louis version is the gentle anthem we've all needed to get through the last 2 years. This is 2021. The last 2 years of bewildering, complicated, and distant holidays, and however many years of those there may be to come on either an individual or a collective level. The highest bough. It's muddling season.
That rules.
Rules. Oh man, I am going to put the highest bough, it's muddling season on a Christmas embroidery sampler and hang it on my wall forever.
I love it. We should also mention that the revised lyrics exist because Frank Sinatra didn't want to sing the sad version.
Frank Sinatra
in 1957, same guy, little Angela's grandfather himself. He went to Hugh Martin, who co-wrote the song, and asked him to write new lyrics so that Frank Sinatra could do a swingin' version.
Yeah. And so when it comes to Christmas songs, I'm in kind of one of two camps. If it's slow and pretty, then for me the lyrics have to be meaningful and important. And if it's a rock and bop, you can have the most insipid lyrics you want. I don't care. I will sing along to All I Want for Christmas Is You all day long. Sure. The latest one that I've been enjoying is Kelly Clarkson's Underneath the Tree. It's absolutely stuck in my head.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Very catchy song.
I think that one might be on its way to becoming the next one to kind of officially break into the Christmas.
Yeah, I feel like it's everywhere lately.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, for me, I feel like the happy version of the song just loses so much, especially when, if you're going through a really tough time at Christmas, there aren't that many songs that you can latch onto, and it feels like this is one that didn't need to be stripped of that.
Yeah, sure.
It can be kind of emotionally helpful to have something like the sad version to kind of commiserate with. I'm not the only one who's feeling these things around the holidays.
Yeah. So I actually went back through, because on the previous time when you were talking about this song, you said oh my God, the Muppets have covered it a ton of different times. Jimmy Dean Show and Good Morning America and
Saturday Night Live.
Bob Hope
did it with Candace Bergen.
Green and Red Christmas.
So I went through and I tried to find clips of as many of those as I could. And for every single one that I found, they do sing the happy version. And I thought, man, if anyone could have done justice to the sad version, it would have been John Denver and Rolf alone on a dark stage with a spotlight piano.
That's true.
It's weird that they don't do it. I probably said this in the Muppet Family Christmas episode, but the one that I love, one of my favorite versions of that song is Ella Fitzgerald's version.
Yeah.
Because she does the sad lyrics, but it's an upbeat and happy arrangement.
It's kind of exciting when you hear the sad lyric on a version on the radio.
Yeah.
Because it's Ella just excitedly bopping her way through, someday soon we all will be together, right? Not from now on or whatever. And it's great. Man, Ella Fitzgerald rules.
Oh, yeah.
She should have worked with the Muppets. She was around. Anyways, what else happens in this special? Oh, yeah. Right after that song, Miss Piggy runs in.
Oh, I probably said this also when we talked about it on Muppet Family Christmas, but it ends with Ralph plinking out a few notes of Jingle Bells. Every time I hear any version of this song, I kind of am hoping to hear those ding, ding, ding,
Aww.
ding, ding, ding. Well, and it never does, except for this one.
Right, and that feels like a song I just wrote about today, River by Joni Mitchell. Begins and ends with a minor key version of Jingle Bells that sounds a lot like
right.
Which is another song about having a hard time
That's true.
At Christmas, you know? It's about how she's lonely and sad, selfish and sad at Christmas. Man, what a great song. We should listen to that. All right.
She doesn't want to muddle through. She just wants to skate away.
She just wants she had a river she could skate away on.
Yeah.
The big one for me is Winter Song by Sarah Bareilles and Ingrid Michaelson. Like,
oh, okay. I don't know it. I don't think.
Oh God! Like if you're grieving at that time of year, it will make you sob.
Sure, I'll check it out. Thank you. But what happens here is that Piggy runs in to complain because she heard that Fifi is starring in the big production number, and John Denver's all like, "What? You're Fifi, Miss Piggy? Of course."
Who is Fifi?
Yeah, who is Fifi? And he's like, "You are Fifi." So then it becomes the toy soldiers scene because, he says, "You're Fifi." And then she says, "Fifi is not me. Fifi is moi," which doesn't make any sense because he didn't say me. He just said Fifi. I guess he should have said Fifi is vous. Right?
Well, I think he said Fifi is you. And then she takes a minute to absorb it. Like, Fifi is me? And then turns it around. No, Fifi is not me. Fifi is moi. Like, okay, I'm going to take this thing you've just given me and make it bigger.
I'm going to own it. Yeah.
And then he's laughing and clapping his hands and says, "I can't wait." It's just such a genuine moment.
He's having such a great time. And then we see a box for like a long time. I feel like it's a long time
box under a Christmas
gift-wrapped box. Yeah. But then it opens up. Who's inside? An endless stream of toy soldiers played by adult men. I
think
not
at least
the
one
Muppets.
of them is a woman.
Oh, is that right? Okay,
at
but
least
not
one.
Muppets, humans. Played by humans, anyways.
Yes, humans.
But one of them is John Denver. And then we watch them march for like an hour. And they all sing the song Camaraderie. And guess what musical it's from? Hey, Ryan, what musical is it from?
Well, it's not from Best Pals. It's from the British musical The Good Companions.
It's so weird.
Yeah, they must have gotten a good deal on songs from The Good Companions.
From The Good Companions, yeah.
It's not from The Particular Visitor?
Beth, you're our particular visitor today.
Yay!
This week, yeah.
But so this song just goes on for a long time. Like, I'm not into it.
A seed of a joke here, which is that John Denver's toy soldier is not quite in sync with the others.
Right.
But there's not enough to actually make it funny. Like, he's just a little bit behind them. He marches the wrong direction. But that's not enough for how long it goes on.
Yeah. When I, took a look at when the song starts and ends, I was like, oh, it's only 3.5 minutes. That's not that long. But then I went back and looked at when the entire clip, like the whole scene starts and ends. Like, oh, no, that's 7 minutes. That's too much.
Oh, yeah.
But I watched it on 1.5 speed, and I do recommend that.
That's probably better.
Boy, they didn't have that option back in 1979.
No, you had to watch it on TV. You look, it was either this or Starsky and Hutch, or I don't know, probably like The Facts of Life or something.
I'm sure we could look up the schedule if we really wanted to bother.
What night would? Yeah. John Denver and the Muppets at Christmas Together.
It might have been another holiday special.
It probably was. Yeah, I bet there were other ones on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Well, you know what? This would actually be a good time to plug our friends on the Muppeturgy podcast. Did I say this before? Because they're doing a bonus episode about this same special. And so to definitely learn what was on opposite this, listen to their episode.
Yes.
To learn the history of the songs, listen to their episode because they will have a lot more of this info than they will. Yeah,
they'll do all that research for us.
Let us know. So So thanks, best pals. Thanks, good companions. What were you going to say, Beth?
Oh, so I was just going to ask, are toy soldiers inherently Christmassy? Because I feel like
because of the Nutcracker, right? Like,
that's why.
Oh, I feel like it used to be more of a thing than it is now. I forgot about the Nutcracker, and the only other example I could think of was there's a song on Enya's Christmas album called One Toy Soldier, and I was like, the only other toy soldier thing I could think of is the Steadfast Tin Soldier, but I don't think that's a Christmas story. And so I was like, did kids only get toy soldiers as presents at Christmas? I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's the Nutcracker. I really do.
That makes sense.
It's like a prominent thing in that Christmas story, you know?
I'm pretty sure the Radio City Rockettes do a toy soldier number in their Christmas spectacular. Also, like precision marching or precision dancing kind of thing. Yeah,
sure. But so the end of this song is not the end of this number, because then John yells, "Wait for me, Fifi!"
Yeah, because the toy soldiers have been called off to war.
Yeah.
Like they all kind of march away, and then you hear the sounds of like cannons and gunfire.
Yeah, they're off murdering.
I guess so.
And then Miss Piggy is Fifi, and Fifi is a doll, as it turns out. I don't think we knew that until this moment. She climbs up out of a box, which again I feel like takes a long time to watch Piggy crawl out of this
I really
box.
noticed that.
There's at least one shot of what is probably like a radio control miniature of when she's first sitting up in the box. And I thought, wow, did that ever get used again for anything? Did they already have it?
That must be like brand new in 1979, though. I mean, this is before the Dark. Like, I guess you know what though? They're in some level of pre-production on the Dark Crystal.
True.
So probably they're like developing it for that.
Yeah.
You know.
And if all you have to make her do is just sit up, then that's probably not.
Yeah.
It's not as complicated as making a doozer.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe this is the step right in between the radio-controlled Emmett and Ma Otter. For when they're singing on the river.
Right. Yeah.
Between that and the Doozers, this is the necessary missing link.
Yeah, that's true. Man, Emmett Otter. We never covered that either. I guess Kermit's in it.
No, next year.
Yeah, we should. Are we making that promise? Are we gonna take a break?
Do it.
we might. I don't think we'll be done with Treasure Island, but whatever.
No, we won't.
Look,
we'll see.
We can put off the end of Muppet Treasure Island to talk about Emmett Otter's Drug Band Christmas.
Hey, we can do whatever we want.
We can stop in the middle and do a whole season of Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree 2 minutes at a time. In the middle of Muppet Treasure Island, if we wanted to. The perfect tree. All right. What else? Oh, yeah. So Miss Piggy, Fifi, she climbs out of the box and she sings "I Will Wait for You" from Umbrellas of Cherbourg, the Jacques Demy movie, which, have either of you seen Umbrellas of Cherbourg?
A movie that has been on my Max watch list since it was HBO Max, and I still haven't watched it yet, but I really want to.
Here's the thing about that movie. It's brilliant. It is a gorgeous movie. It is a sung through musical in French. And it has like the most dazzling color palette you will ever see in a motion picture.
That's what I always hear about it.
And the central love story is beautiful and heart-wrenching. And I cannot recommend it highly enough.
Wow.
But once again, it is in French. And I didn't recognize this song. I don't recognize the songs from Umbrellas of Cherbourg in English. You know, like I never knew it was from that movie until I read it today.
Now makes more sense why Piggy gets just a few bars of La Vie en Rose playing before this.
Yeah, it's a French song, but as Ryan said, it's on Max. If you happen to be a person who still has Max, definitely check it out. Umbrellas of Cherbourg, and it's short. It's like 90 minutes. I mean, it's not that long.
Oh, I should watch it tonight.
You really should. I would love to hear what you thought of it. Any other thoughts about this one, though?
Did anyone else notice that all of the toy soldiers have John Denver's identical haircut and color? It looks like they are all wearing John Denver wigs.
No.
I didn't, but I think it's like they're all supposed to be the same model of soldier or whatever, so I didn't even think about it. But
so John Denver's the one guy not wearing a wig?
Yeah, how can we make all these toy soldiers look the same? Give them John Denver's hair.
Yeah. That's really funny.
And then it ends with the slow motion reunion where they're running towards each other, and Piggy stops to look at the camera and say she remembers doing this in a movie somewhere, which is cute.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because everybody had just seen that movie.
The Muppet movie's only, 6 months old or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then they crash into each other and he falls into the gift box.
And that's the end. It's not the end of the special. It kind of feels like it should be the finale.
It could be, yeah, especially because that's the production number that they've been building up to.
Right, but there's still like, I don't know what it is, 12 minutes left or something.
Yeah.
And so now, then after a commercial, it's like we've reset and it's like we're in a new special. Because now John Denver and the Muppets are gathered in a living room. Much like the Muppets will later do Sans Denver in Muppet Family Christmas, right? They're all like sitting around singing carols in a living room.
With the fire and the fireplace, nice big Christmas tree.
Yeah. And the song that they sing here is The Peace Carol, which is another one that sounds like the same recording from the album, I think.
With John Denver and Scooter.
John Denver
and voices sound great together.
I love it. Makes me so happy that Scooter gets a featured solo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just this like sweet contemplative thing. And what I didn't think about, because again, I know the album so much better. He sings it directly to Robin.
Mm-hmm.
He looks right into Robin's eyes
and
sings this
right into his foot for a second.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. But you know, like we know that Jerry Nelson and Richard Hunt were like best buddies, you know, and we're paired up as a duo as often as possible. And so even though Robin doesn't say anything, it feels like a nod to that, to the Jerry and Richard friendship, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just very sweet.
My only complaint with this song is the lyrics that are so the inconsistent grammar structure, because the chorus and verse 2 are just a list of things. Yeah, they're just listing things. I was like, okay, these are all nice things. Cool. Verse 3 is actual sentences, more or less. And verse 1 is like a grammatical Frankenstein's monster. It's trying to be a sentence and it doesn't know how.
How does it go?
So verse 1, the garment of life, be it tattered and torn. That makes you think it's going to be the start of a sentence. But then it immediately goes to, the cloak of the soldier is weathered and worn. But what child is this that was poverty born? The piece of Christmas Day.
Born. Yeah.
Like that would, okay. What? How?
It's like they took lines from 4 different previous drafts of the song and just put them together.
These are all nice imagery, but the other one that sticks out to me is the line, a faith that can hobble an ocean of tears. How do you hobble an ocean?
But I think that's kind of the point. I think that's the point, though, is that it's like that's how powerful it is.
Huh.
Like this thing that you can bring an ocean to its knees, right? Like even the mighty unmoving ocean or whatever. You know, I think that's what it.
That
means.
Does make more sense.
But you said an ocean of tears.
Yes.
Yeah, like tears, the ocean, because people are.
But that does sound like maybe like one poetic flourish too many.
Right.
Too many, yeah.
Just make it a regular old ocean. It doesn't have to be an ocean of tears.
But here's the thing though, Ryan. If Scooter is singing it at you, you never thought about it because it sounds gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
you know what I mean? Like
we're the only people thinking about it too much.
Right. Exactly. That we're talking about it a lot.
That's what we do here.
Yeah. So that's the Peace Carol. And then the next thing is John is like, this is a special time of year. You ever heard about the nativity? And then he tells the nativity story. Like it's basically the biblical nativity account from the book of Luke, essentially. And we see them, Mary and Joseph, and eventually the Christ child and the wise men and shepherds and all that stuff as puppets. And they're not Muppety at all. Like they look like, we know that Jim was more into was really interested in like European theater puppets around this time.
Right.
And that's what they seem much more influenced by. Like these are not Muppety characters at all.
According to Muppet Wiki, Jim said that they were the first serious puppets that they'd ever made, which kind of surprises me because I guess I always think of the Muppets having at least one serious aspect to them, starting with the Muppet Show. Like, that there would, always be at least one, not necessarily every episode, but often enough that you're like, oh, okay, we're having a serious moment with serious puppets.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you could make a case for the African masks from the Harry Belafonte episode. Like,
yeah,
right.
There were a few things like that.
Yeah, or even like the woodland creatures and stuff. Like,
yeah, the more naturalistic.
Right. I mean, like in the Bob Hope episode when they do
For What It's Worth.
For What It's Worth, and it's like obviously it still has jokes in it, but like that's a very serious number, and those those puppets aren't that abstract. I don't know. Which of course is also. All that stuff is in the scene in Celebration of 30 Years where Kermit says he likes it when the Muppets aren't funny, and Robin says, I blame the writers for that. Yes. Which is great. That's so good.
But these puppets look really good.
Yeah.
They do. I really like them. I think they're really cool.
I think this is a really cool... They probably never would have done this if they hadn't been doing the special with John Denver, who is probably more into the religious aspects of Christmas, but
yeah,
they did it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And I guess we should note also that during this, we hear snippets of a few different like Christmas hymns. The Little Town of Bethlehem, First Noel, We Three Kings, and Joy to the World. And they're not sung by the Muppets. It doesn't like they're just like a choir. Like I don't think that's the Muppet performers singing any of them.
No, I went back and listened to this again to see if I could detect any Muppet voices, but I don't think any of them are there.
Yeah. But I think this is so great. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm usually not a fan of, so I know this is odd to say about Christmas, which is a religious holiday, but you know, I've been celebrating it secularly for a while. And so I usually don't watch stuff with explicitly religious stuff in it. But this is one that I enjoy specifically because it's got that same energy as, you know, the Christmas Wish and whatever the moral of Alfie is. That like,
right.
Hey, here's this cool story about this magical child. Isn't that neat? And
yeah, sure.
I feel like there's kind of like a spectrum of, you know, if you're gonna include explicitly religious stuff in your Christmas special, then this is like on the comfy end of the spectrum of like, hey, we're just being nice about it. We're not shoving it down your throat. And then the other end of the spectrum is Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Saving Christmas is the weirdest movie I've ever seen because
I've never seen it.
Ryan, it's a movie about how commercialism is good. And if you stack up all your presents, it looks like the skyline of Bethlehem or something. Like,
and St. Nicholas was a badass who would beat up pagans.
Right. Like I went into this thing fully expecting it to be a movie about how like the commercialization of Christmas has gotten out of hand. And instead it's a movie about how the commercialization of Christmas is like good and should be celebrated. And that's actually what Christmas is all about and what God wants. So Ryan, I think you know how big of a deal it is when I say my mom found it morally repulsive. Who loves Kirk Cameron, like firmly in the tank for Kirk Cameron. Yeah. Was like watched it and said that was a little wacky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. If she said that was a little wacky, that's like, yeah.
And then you've got my brother-in-law who showed us all this special one Christmas as we sat there in amused horror. And then the next year bought us all copies on DVD. I would say on the spectrum, like, you know, so good it's bad. This one is so good. So bad. A lot of Christmas specials are so bad it's good. And this one is so bad it's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Wow. That was not a topic I expected was going to come up today.
But meanwhile, here in this scene of the John Denver special, you can, if you choose to, you can just watch the sequence and enjoy the artistry of the puppetry and all that.
Yeah. No, I love it. I mean, I this is going to sound schmaltzy. I don't know, man. What you described earlier, Beth, like that's the kind of Christian I try to be, you know?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Christianity, the next song, also a religious hymn. It's Silent Night or Stille Nacht. And
I really love
singing in German.
Yeah, I really love that we get the origin story of the song.
Yeah, it's great.
I want more songs to come with, you know, spoken interludes where they talk about where the story came from.
About where the song, the Muppet Trilogy episode doesn't even need to cover this one because the special
right
does
there,
it. Right? It's also on the album. That spoken word interlude,
yes,
we should say, is on the album too. But yeah, so they start out singing Stille Nacht in German, and then they transition into English. But here they're joined by a children's choir, which they're not on the album.
Yeah, well, it's this sort of like surprise twist where we've seen them all sitting in this living room. And actually, I wouldn't have guessed. I'm sure I didn't the first time I saw this, because the Muppets are all sitting on couches and chairs. So the puppeteers must be like inside those couches and chairs. Or in the case of the Swedish Chef, he's just standing behind a couch. So I guess they didn't bother to build legs for him. But I guess I wouldn't have thought that this was like a big enough space to hold this big crowd of children.
Yeah, right.
Like the camera pulls back and it's like, surprise, this room is full of kids.
Right.
And they're singing too, except some of them are just staring vacantly into space.
Oh, there's some great moments here. There's this one kid. There's a shot where there's a sweet little girl and she's kind of mouthing just long syllables that she doesn't know the words. Her mouth is just kind of hanging open. And then there's little boy who just tilts his head back with his mouth open like he is off on his own adventure. It does not matter what is happening around him. He's somewhere else.
Oh, and speaking of tilting your head back, did you notice the shot where it cuts to Kermit and Piggy?
Yes!
And Kermit just has his head like squished to the side.
I took a screenshot of that.
Angle. Yeah.
It's such an awkward angle.
Why did they
the side of his neck is all scrunched up. And it's like, yeah, I've been to parties like that where seating is at a premium and you're like, all right, time to get cozy.
Yeah, if you told me that was like between takes and Jim Henson was just resting his hand and like not really,
right,
fully didn't fully have his hand in Kermit's head, I would believe you because it looks so weird.
I'll have to watch for that next time. After that, everyone wishes Merry Christmas to each other one at a time, like they're saying goodnight, and they're the Walton family. And
exactly.
I really enjoy that. And then they sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" as the credits roll. But on the album, it has the jokes. It has Piggy pudding made with figs and bacon and all that stuff.
And it has animals doing.
Yeah, it has.
Won't go.
Yeah.
Right, and then Floyd like reining him in. And this doesn't have any of that. And I'm disappointed every time, But then it's over, and that's the end. John Denver and the Muppets, they did indeed spend a Christmas together. So
they did.
Any final thoughts about the special or the album, I guess, before we close?
Well, just a few quick things in the credits. Directed by Tony Carmoli, written by Herbert Baker, produced and co-written by Bob Finkel. None of these guys ever worked with the Muppets any other times, which is interesting. I looked them up on IMDb. They're all pretty much just variety show guys. Yeah, a few sitcom credits here and there.
Yeah, that completely checks out.
Herbert Baker does have a writing credit on a special called Keep US Beautiful from 1973. That also featured
Beautiful.
Yeah, this also featured a scene. It was like a bunch of celebrities doing variety style acts to tell people not to pollute and stuff like that. There is one scene in that special where so Kermit is in it, but then also there's a number with these Muppets made out of trash talking about polluting and recycling.
Sure.
So I doubt Herbert Baker wrote that sketch. The Muppet people probably wrote it themselves, but that's just an interesting little intersection. And then there's also a credit special material by John Stone, which is interesting. I guess they brought him in to write stuff for the Muppets that was maybe a little more Muppety because he was a guy who knew how to write for Muppets, maybe more than the variety show guys did. And then special musical material and choral direction by Ray Charles. This is almost certainly not Ray Charles, the singer, but Ray Charles, the other Ray Charles, who was the music consultant on the last couple seasons of the Muppet Show.
I was going to say, I love that you phrased it. It's almost certainly not the famous singer, but the guy who did this same job on the Muppet Show. Yes.
But anything is possible.
I suppose you're right.
It could have been Ray Charles.
Yes, it could have. He did go on Sesame Street, sang with Kermit on that Cher special.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Muppet performers, these are all people we've talked about, except for this name Philip Huber, who I had to look up. This is his only credit on Muppet Wiki. And it seems like he's mostly a marionettist. He made the marionettes for the movie Being John Malkovich.
No kidding.
Many years after this. Yeah, so I wonder if he was maybe brought in especially for the
nativity stuff.
That makes sense.
Probably done that. Yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so Beth, any final thoughts?
Yeah, my only thing that I wanted to mention that we hadn't talked about yet that's only on the album was is it John Denver and it's Robin. John Denver and Robin sing When the River Meets the Sea.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's not in here. You're right.
Yeah, and like partly like what an odd choice, and also oh my god, it's so beautiful. Sing it again.
So good. Well, and it's like as we've discussed. I mean, you've probably talked about it on your podcast that Robin, Gobo, and Emmett Otter all basically sound the same.
Yeah,
and so it's just like obviously Emmett sings it with his mom in the special, so it really does feel like it's just Emmett and like a new duet part, you know, on the album because we don't see Robin.
And that was the year before this or 2 years?
2 years before. That's 1977.
Yeah, so still a relatively new song, but from a Christmas special. So.
Yeah.
But although as we've discussed, a Christmas special where none of the songs are like
mentioned Christmas,
about Christmas. Not one of them is even like about winter.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's a story that takes place around Christmas, but it's not that Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reassured my friends when there was the showing of Emmett Otter and the Bells of Fraggle Rock, you know, when they were showing that in theaters together a few years ago. I was reassuring my Jewish friends that it was like, no, this is an appropriate level of Christmas.
Sure. Yeah. Well, both of those. I mean, Bells of Fraggle Rock is not. I mean, I guess they do say Christmas because Doc says it.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, Bells of Fraggle Rock rules.
I guess, yeah, my only other thoughts about like the special as a whole. So until we started recording today, I thought this was going to be the worst of the Muppets thing. I thought like, oh no, Joe can't do this one. You're recording with Ryan and Anthony instead.
No.
I didn't know it was moving right along. So I was like, prepared to defend its honor.
Sure.
But I think overall, the reason that it works for me is that you've got these three key ingredients of John Denver, the Muppets, and Christmas. And each of those things separately can be, you know, varying levels of sincere or hilarious or schmaltzy or exhausting or terrible or wonderful and poignant and usually a little bit of all of the above to some degree. And so when you get those three things together, it just kind of works. Because, yeah, it is wonderful and poignant and absurd and goes on too long in certain places and certain other places you want more. And yeah, I think that's why for me it's entered my regular rotation of Henson Christmas stuff.
Sure. Awesome. Ryan?
Yeah, that's a really good way to sum it up. I think it does there's probably more sincere than any of those other ingredients in this. It's definitely just very sincere. Maybe some people would prefer if it were a little sillier or wackier or had more comedy, but I don't know, for a Christmas special, it just feels very warm and cozy and pleasant.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Cozy is also a word that I wrote down to describe the special. And I think that across the great vast array of Muppet Christmas specials, because there are so many, I truly love, I treasure. We got one that is just like a cheesy, schmaltzy 70s variety special. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's room for that.
Yeah, and so it's not, I won't lie, it's not my favorite one.
No.
Spoiler, my favorite one is the one we did 24 episodes on. Muppet Family Christmas. But I like it. I try to see it every year, and it's just like fun to have on. I just like looking at it and hearing it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
It is nice. But anyway, that is it for today. Next time we come back, listeners, it will be the first episode of Muppet Treasure Island. We promise.
Wow.
That is what's happening.
I'm so excited.
We'll be sailing for adventure.
We will indeed be sailing for adventure. But in the meantime, you listeners, you can always check out toughpigs.com on the internet. We're on Facebook. We're on Blue Sky. I guess we're still on Twitter for now. We have the Tough Pigs Discord, which is now open. And
yes,
which I think is going well. I hope we get new members. We've got a lot.
Well, we're still, kind of figuring a few things out, but I think it's going pretty well.
We've had some great conversations going over there, and I'm very excited about it. You can always support us on Patreon. We would be thrilled about that. And you can email us with any of your thoughts on Fifi or Toy Soldiers or the pleasure of our company at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com. You can follow Ryan on Blue Sky at me, Ryan Rowe. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. You can follow Ryan on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat and me on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. Beth, where can our listeners find you on the line?
You can find me occasionally writing stuff for Tough Pigs on social media at Beth Anna Cook, but mostly my big thing is the brought to you by toughpigs.com companion podcast, Fraggle Talk.
Yeah.
It is also a separate channel, like Moving Right Along, so you got to go subscribe over there, but it is a grand old time. We are wrapping up season 1, and I am just delighted about it.
It has been so fun. So we should say up front that Ryan and I have both been on the show, so you can hear us both on one episode giving our thoughts. But putting that aside, trying to be objective, even though obviously I can't. I've been on it. It's on our podcast feed. It's so fun. The three of you, and we knew Julia, of course. Mm-hmm. We didn't know your friend Adam before the podcast started. You're all so excited to be talking about Fraggle Rock, and you go on tangents that I as a listener would never have thought of.
And because I think the three of them are approaching it from such different but complementary approaches.
Exactly.
That's what it's great about it.
And so if you are a fan of Fraggle Rock and want to hear three intelligent and funny people discuss it, you really got to check it out. Sometimes Ryan and I, or like I said, or many other guests who've been on our show have been.
One of the most popular episodes was Marooned with Roz, which is
that's my favorite one.
Yeah, it was a great episode. Say hi to Roz for me.
I sure will. That's a great one. So start there. The episode Marooned, which featured our previous guest from our last episode, Roz Strand, who lives in my house with me.
If you're thinking, I vaguely remember Fraggle Rock, but I don't think I could listen to a podcast about it because I don't remember anything. We keep it spoiler free because Adam is watching for the very first time. So it's the perfect opportunity to watch along with us from the very beginning.
Yeah, which everyone should, because seriously, if you like the Muppets enough to listen to a podcast about the John Denver special, you should rewatch Fraggle Rock because you will get a lot out of it because that show is incredible.
Well said.
All right. So thanks again for being with us today, Beth. And thank you, as always, to Morgan Davy for designing our logo. Speaking of Morgan, you can buy a t-shirt with her beautiful logo on it at our TeePublic store, which I forgot to mention. Yeah. We have a lot of other designs. We've just got some new ones up recently.
Fozziewig and Mom is that's the hot t-shirt of the season.
Nice.
That's a great one. I love it. Actually, Roz owns that one. Last year, Roz and I surprised each other with one unknown t-shirt from the Tough Pig store. We knew we were each going to get each other one. I got her Fozziewig and Mom. She got me Pete's Luncheonette. So
nice.
Both of which were designed by our friend Megan, I believe, weren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Give us that positive review you've been meaning to give us to. Everywhere you go, every time you have the pleasure of anyone's company, recommend Moving Right Along. And join us soon after the new year for another episode all about Jimmy Jim, or what have you. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas, listeners.
I forgot to say this when we were talking about Muppet Christmas Carol. Thank you for making me a part of this.